Goddamn. Goddamn, guys.
Well. Duh. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing here today on your 260th episode of Unscripted? This is a this is going to be an interesting episode. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? Like I said, welcome aboard. Thank you guys for joining us for the 260th episode of NHP Unscripted. And as always, if this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central, we are on here with Unscripted. And every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. If you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, WWE going over to ESPN for $29.99 a month come 2026 and all that good stuff. We talked about there being 2 WrestleManias in 1 year because of the whole Saudi Arabia thing, the Hurt Business, and their supposed heat in AEW. We talked about all that good stuff. You guys can now watch that live on all platforms. That is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here every Friday at 3 p.m. Central for the news, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Links at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find this beautiful piece of Notorious Heels merchandise live on there as we speak, man. So, with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show, and as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. Sir K, how you doing, man? And please tell the world, what are you smiling about today?
Good, man. I'm doing good. I mean, if outside of wrestling, you know, I got reasons to smile, man. But inside of wrestling, the list is real short right now, man. But I'm doing good. Just been chilling. well, I would say waiting for pay-per-view weekends, but at this point, they're all going to be so fucked, apparently. I don't even know. I'm just waiting for personal life stuff and just waiting for, you know, I guess some of these pay-per-view weekends, man. Is Forbidden Door this weekend? When
No,
is Forbidden Door? Is it
the
this weekend or next weekend?
the 24th. So next Sunday.
4th. Okay. Goddamn. Okay, I had no clue. Uh, good lord, but I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
Um well, um in a wrestling space, I am so messed up. In a life
Oh, it's
space,
good.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Just
Good.
chilling, bro.
Good.
Just chilling.
It's good.
Yeah. To be honest, man, just chilling, dude. Waiting for family stuff coming up a little bit before that stuff is Forbidden Door. So I'm excited for that because that will seem to be the last fucking time we don't get some sort of counter program in my existence. Well, there's Clash in Paris. Um, I, uh, g- Mafia is going great. Mafia is going
That's good.
great. I can say that. I can say that confidently. I may have to, whenever I do end up finishing it, I probably will not get the chance to play it again for a minute. But I'm very good at leaving myself off on like cliffhangers. So I left myself off on a pretty good cliffhanger. I shut it off at a really interesting time, so I am dying to play it again. Um, man, I'll say this. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite games of all time, Mafia Definitive Edition.
Good.
it reminds me a lot of that. It is incredibly story rich. Um, and the mechanics in the game are very fun. But the number one way to hook me on a game is to be story rich, and that game has a very very good story. They did a great job, man. They did a great job. I want to say I'm about 9 hours into playing it, which does kind of scare me because I hear the game is about 12. So I don't want to be done soon. I don't want it to end, but it's very very good, man, and I've been enjoying it a lot, even though it doesn't feel like the end at all. So if we are coming up on the end, that definitely does suck because they definitely could have got more out of it for sure. Because it doesn't feel like it's supposed to end at all. Um,
I
it
get you.
but it does. I guess they do. I guess skip large periods of time. Um, a lot, but it's very good, man. It's very good, and I have been enjoying the hell out of it. But other than that, man, I'm good. So as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, OG? Thank you guys for joining us, and how are you guys doing today? And of course, my guys are part of the Replay Mafia, JT and JB. How are you guys doing, man? Thank you guys as always for joining us, and well, from Mafia the Old Country, something I have been enjoying, to something that I have not been enjoying, AEW Dynamite.
Oh boy.
Uh, you know, normally I have a very good
Yep.
memory on what happened on a show. Um, Today, when I woke up and I thought to myself, what are we going to talk about for Dynamite? I couldn't even remember what the fuck was in my notes. The show was rather boring, in my honest opinion. It was a complete waste of time. Um, which is why half the time which is why half the time I love when we're coming upon an AEW pay-per-view, because the Dynamite before, I pretty much just skip through it, because normally we talk about AEW on the pay-per-view, and we have nothing to talk about for Dynamite out Unscripted, because, man, is Tony Khan just great at putting on a fucking great pay-per-view, and the weekly TV is just fucking atrocious.
Non-existent, dude. You might as well just fucking UFC this motherfucker and just do pay-per-views at this point because holy shit, TV is just that non-existent.
And I knew we were in for a rough night. And you may ask, well, Johnny, how did you know that? How did you know we were in for a rough night? Well, if history didn't serve us correctly, Excalibur did. Because as soon as the show opens up, the first fucking thing out of his mouth is, after Darby Allin almost threw Jon Moxley off the roof of the Aragon Ballroom in Arlington Heights, Chicago, Illinois, Jon Moxley stormed into the production meeting and demanded a match that was accepted by Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm sorry, what?
What?
Where the fuck did Speedball come in all this? Why does
Because
Speedball accept the challenge? First of all, why would Jon Moxley storm into a production meeting and ask for a match with just anybody? Don't you think he would ask for a match with the guy that tried to throw him off a fucking building? What?
like, what? I want a match. That makes no sense. This guy almost killed you, and you just want to fight somebody at the next show.
Huh?
What sense does that make? And why would Jon Moxley barge into a meeting like that? Him and the Death Riders, they didn't roll like that. They basically booked themselves on the show, canonically. Why wouldn't they just jump Darby Allin the next week or something? Why would he barge into a production meeting to ask for a random nothing match?
I, 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 immediately, about 90 seconds into the show, I'm already lost. Speedball Mike Bailey accepted Jon
Interesting.
Moxley's challenge because he wanted a random match. What?
After Darby tried to kill him. Great booking.
I mean, imagine that. Imagine that somebody tried to shoot you, and to get your lick back, you go to the grocery store and take out one of the cashiers. What the fuck did they have to do with any of that? I mean, what? So the show opens up. By the way, the show took place in Cleveland. And the show opened up with Jon Moxley versus Speedball Mike Bailey. During the match, the Death Riders were out there. Not the linchpin. Just Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. And Darby Allin, while Yuta was leaning up against the barricade, put a rag over his head and drug him away. This led for Speedball to get a lot of offense. I believe he hit the Time Adventure, his finisher, on Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley kicked out of it. Speedball was going to set up another move. I can't remember at this point. And Jon Moxley countered it for a Death Rider and won the match. He won the match against Speedball Mike Bailey, even though he was distracted. But you know how Tony Khan likes to book Jon Moxley. Afterwards, the Death Riders, damn near right after, he packed Mike Bailey up for some fucking reason. He jumped off into the crowd. They ran after Wheeler Yuta. They found him lying in the middle of the parking lot in a black body bag. They unzipped the body bag. Darby Allin comes driving by in a Cadillac Escalade with his head fucking poking out the window. And Wheeler Yuta has a fucking sign taped to his forehead that said Forbidden Door. And that was your
Uh,
open to AEW Dynamite. He
what?
put a rag over his head so he can tape a piece of paper to his forehead that said Forbidden Door.
So basically, on AEW Dynamite, you had people chloroforming other folks to kidnap them, put them in a body bag, write a fucking kindergarten note on his forehead, and then almost running him over and killing fucking Wheeler Yuta in an Escalade. What the fuck is this Death Rider story, dude? What? Why does it when it comes to the Death Riders, man? Why do they just get so weird, dude? You had FTR passed out on the side of the road thinking about retirement. You got fucking Darby Allin chloroforming folks. What the fuck is this story, dude? What is this, bro? What is this?
Again, I strongly reiterate, we were in for a long night. Um, uh, I, I don't, I, what was
What do
that?
you say?
So
What do you say to that?
for him, honestly, man, for you to put out a challenge for a match of Forbidden Door, you drug Wheeler Yuta into a parking lot just so you can put him in a body bag and tape his forehead with a fucking piece of paper. They couldn't have did some stunt where like Yuta was being drug in the body bag by the car. You know, I'm sure there's some type of way they could have, rigged up the body bag to where like Yuta couldn't have felt it. You know, I'm sure they could have been done. I'm sure they could have done something like that. And
Or
no,
even like you could have just spray painted Forbidden Door on the body bag and just left it like somewhere where the Death Riders would see it, then they find them, or like you said, they drag them. You could just put like a dummy in the fucking bag
yeah,
and do a camera cut or something, dude. Something. Why? Why would you do? Why did he tape a note to his forehead, bro? And why
we
is Wheeler Yuta still knocked out?
yeah he's
He
like see
chloroformed him.
he's damn near sleeping. He's damn near sleeping in the
Just tell
parking lot, and as soon as they unzip the bag, he looks like a kid fucking waking up for school. He wakes up, he's like his eyes are all squinted, he's like looking around and shit, and he's just got this fucking note on his forehead. All fucking right, I
you
guess.
could
And
have
that
done that. And you do the dumbest way possible, dude. Gotta love it.
so look goofy as hell, but okay. Renee was in the back. Or no, sorry, she was in this parking lot. She was in the same fucking parking lot that we just seen Wheeler Yuta chloroformed and had a note taped to the fucking top of his forehead. The same exact parking lot, damn near the same exact spot. Renee's just standing there like somebody wasn't just chloroformed there a minute ago. She's standing there, and Mercedes Monet jumps out of her limousine, and she asks her how she feels coming out of All In. Mercedes struggles to get out of the car because she is just draped in championships. She asks her how she feels coming out of All In. People are saying this was the greatest women's match in history before it even happened. She's just going crazy, just clamoring about the match. And Mercedes tells her, Renee, stop being a mark. And she walks off.
Can you tell that to your boss, Mercedes? Please?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yes, could you,
Tell him to
can,
stop being.
can you tell Tony Khan to stop being a mark for him and his weird little fantasies? Okay, about people getting thrown off roofs and storming into production meetings. Then somebody gets chloroformed with a note taped to his fucking forehead. Um, please, something. Hey, can you please? Um, the next match is a qualifier for the interpromotional TBS 4-way at Forbidden Door. we're going to have the TBS champion versus somebody from AEW. Okay, as if the TBS champion doesn't come from AEW
It's from a
versus somebody from CMLL versus somebody from Stardom. Okay, uh, the AEW spot,
doesn't
huh?
okay. Doesn't New Japan have their own women's division now too? Couldn't they put the
I
AEW spot even though like huh?
I
That,
think I think they just feature
like,
Stardom women on their
oh, so they kind of just combined
pretty
like
much.
essentially on the same show. Okay, that makes sense
They
actually. That
pretty
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because they didn't feature women at all, but I think they started like featuring Stardom on the show. So
As they're women. Okay.
yeah.
I get that. I get that. Still don't know why there's two AEW spots in the match, but I digress.
So the qualifiers from the AEW side were Queen Aminata, Billy Starks, whatever, Sky Blue, and Alex Windsor. Um, all right. There was a there was a promo before the match where Alex Windsor and Tony Storm were just dropping a bunch of horny lines. Like Tony was doing it, and then she started getting Alex Windsor to do it. So they were just both doing it at one point. Um, so Tony was out there with Alex Windsor as Athena was out there with Billy Stark, and Athena jumped on the apron to try to help Billy. Yet Tony intercepted it from to stop her from the attack, and Alex Windsor rolled up Billy Stark for the victory. She rolled her up for the victory, so Alex Windsor is in the match with Mercedes Moné, and the other two names are to be determined. There was a Mercedes Moné face-off after the match, and I found out what Athena calls the eclipse in
What is it called?
in AEW because Tony Storm jumped in the ring and Excalibur would then start panicking. He would damn near start pissing his pants. He's like, "Oh my god, Tony Storm, she doesn't see behind her. Athena with the O face. Athena with the O face on Tony Storm." She calls it the O face.
Oh, face. Can I get the oh shit? That is ass. That is the eclipse, bro. I don't care. That's the eclipse.
Yeah. O face. Oh fuck. This show
Oh
sucks.
face.
Is what I have to say. But Mercedes Moné, after Tony gets O-faced, Mercedes then attacks Alex Windsor, and we get an Athena and Mercedes Moné face-off. Yeah, if only we got that at all in, then that would be great. That would be very great.
Exactly, man.
Durante,
It's
what
a,
up, bro? How you doing? And
how you doing, man?
Speedy Clips. Uh, I think you should be telling that to Quebec City because apparently they didn't give a fuck about We Want Cross. Diabolical.
They they didn't give an absolute shit. Not a single fucking we want cross chance last night. But we do want cross. I
We
want cross.
we
So
we do
there
indeed.
you go, man. And as we do indeed. And as for Durante, I don't think the Naomi stuff is too serious. So I'm not that nervous. I feel like we would have heard something if it was serious.
Yeah, I think so. We also live in an age where, we just seen Dominic, go through an injury and still stay champion. So I think Naomi will be okay. I think if it was serious, she would have ended up being stripped of the championship. But But yes, we do indeed want Karrion Cross. I don't know what that crowd was on in Quebec City, but we do indeed want Karrion Cross. This is true. However,
We do.
yeah, so that was that. We got an Athena and Mercedes Moné face off. And that was that. So, yeah, like I said, if only it would have happened at All In, that would have been great.
That'd have been perfect. That to actually happen at the pay-per-view.
Indeed. Indeed. Next up, we got the Young Bucks in the back. They were complaining to production about getting their entrance right. And then next, we get the official coronation for Kyle Fletcher as TNT champion after he beat Dustin Rhodes on Collision. Did you see that match? Did you see clips of that match with Dustin Rhodes?
Literally, the only clip I think I saw was Dustin like shoving like some type of pins or tacks down O'Reilly. Fletcher's goddamn dude. Fletcher's pants. That's literally the only thing I think I saw from that fucking match.
Well, they wrote Dustin off to get double kneecap surgery by stabbing him in the knee with a screwdriver.
Stabbing him in the knee.
Yes.
Good lord, dude. Good lord. Why would you give the championship to a man with no knees in the first place? What the hell, dog? Why didn't he just win it at the pay-per-view?
Uh,
I don't I don't get it. I don't understand.
so, Don Callis is out here. He says he's building the biggest numerical faction in history. And it's all for power. He says since Okada aligned himself, he's gotten 3 belts. And now Fletcher has won the TNT championship and retired a legend. Fletcher says Dustin Rhodes had no business in the ring with him. And he retired Adam Cole too. He says no one will take this from him. He will be the greatest TNT champion of all time, on his way to becoming the greatest of all time. Don Callis then says, being truly great means you're memorialized with art and an oil painting. He asks Fletcher, how bad do you want to see it? Fletcher says, oh, so bad. Don says, how bad do you want it, Kyle? Kyle says, just take it off, Don. I want to see it. At this point, I'm asking myself, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck is that dialogue? What is that?
What, like, I don't get it, dude. I don't.
What are they about to fuck each other? I mean, what is this? What am I watching?
That's what it sounds like.
Take it
From
off,
the
Don.
paint
I
can,
want
looks
to
like.
see it.
He wants to see it.
Don then unveils this very disturbing photo of a naked Kyle Fletcher, and Don Callis is behind him, holding the belt over his crotch, as if he just got done giving Kyle a fucking back shot in this photo. What the fuck? What is this shit? This is your celebration? For one of your better up-and-coming guys, you show us a photo of him taking a back shot by his mentor. What? Did Don just get done slurping him up in the photo? I mean, what the what?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They always have done this little like joke with Don Callis where he unveils a painting and like he's yoked and it's always kind of like erotic for some reason. The joke's tired, man. I'm tired of Don Callis. I'm tired of the Don Callis family. I like Fletcher. I would like Fletcher even more if he wasn't with this group.
Me too. Yeah, this was rather disturbing. Kyle says he loves it, and he owes all of his success to Don, and he wants to do the family proud. So he will defend the championship this Saturday on Collision, and he says he will be champion for a. He says it doesn't matter who he faces because he will be champion for a very, 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 very long time. And I was rather disturbed for a very, 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 very long time when I was watching this promo. So I don't know what
Lord, man.
in the horniness, I don't know what in the back shot this promo was, but it was not it. It sounded like these
It
two
was
were
not.
trying to seduce each other, and I was just a witness to it, and it made me very uncomfortable.
Oh, man. Good Lord.
Take it off, Don. I want to see it. I almost shut the fucking show off right there.
Oh,
So,
man.
Cope
But he's got his
and
Instagram.
and and FTR, if you guys interfere, then you break the restraining order. So, next week he will be facing who is it? Stokely Hathaway. And if FTR interfere, they are if 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 FTR interfere, then the restraining order is is broken.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I guess. I mean, yeah. I.
They're,
They're gonna
probably
have
gonna
to.
interfere.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say they're probably gonna have to interfere. The restraining order is gonna have to be broken somehow. Um, I don't know
Sure, that's
why they were granted a restraining order anyway. I mean, never mind.
okay.
I mean, I guess because of the tag title tournament. I mean, I guess that makes some type of sense. I guess. Never mind. But I mean, maybe they're gonna break it. Maybe not. Maybe they're gonna wait till after they win the tag titles to to break the restraining order. I don't fucking know. But there's gonna be a match next week with Stokely Hathaway and Adam Copeland. So there you go.
I'm excited for Dynamite, man. Aren't you?
No. So we got speaking of the tag title tournament, we have Bro Dito defeating the Young Bucks, where the Young Bucks come out for another week, and this week that little screen that raises up and they're standing there aura farming, it didn't raise up all the way. They had to crawl under it, so that was kind of funny. And Bro Dito won the match with an airplane 450. Brody King shot Bandito up into the air for a 450. Tony Schiavone was absolutely creaming his pants. It sounded like he'd never seen a move like that ever in his life. He was going fucking insane. And Brodito advanced into the finals against FTR. So thank God we're not getting another Young Bucks match, and we're not getting the Young Bucks challenging for the tag team championships again. So we're not getting FTR and Bucks again as well, man. Instead, we're getting Brodito versus FTR at Forbidden Door, or I think before. I don't know. Actually, that's a good ass question. I think it might be
It,
before Forbidden Door. Um,
I
but
think it is.
gotcha.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, I'm glad Young Bucks lost. No one wanted to see another FTR match. Bro Dito is obviously one of the Tony Khan, spur of the moment, loves this shit type of tag teams. And I'm sure FTR will win when that match comes up.
There you go. So the Hurt Syndicate are backstage. MVP gives congrats to Brodito. He says they're a great team, and he gives best wishes to both teams fighting to meet up with the Hurt Syndicate. MJF comes in, and Bobby and Shelton leave. He tells MVP, he says, "You've known me since I was 18. We don't need Bob, and we don't need Shelton. We need each other, and we can win this world championship." MVP says, he tells MJF, he says, "You don't get it. If you join the Hurt Syndicate, we hurt people. And since you joined, it's all about me, I. And that's coming from me. So it is what it is, brother." And he gives him the thumbs down. He says, "My last bit of kindness to you, because I do love you like a little brother, is we will leave you in one healthy piece so you can pursue your big, beautiful belt." MJF says, "I get it. It's not personal. It's just business." MVP says, "That's where you're wrong, Max. I do love you like a little brother, and I hope you fail. Because if you succeed, Bobby Lashley is coming for you, and it will be very personal." So, damn near yet again for the second week in a row, these guys were one of the best parts about AEW Dynamite, and the story makes absolutely no fucking sense why they imploded this quickly.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what outside of kayfabe reason there might be, Tony Khan should have booked this better if he needed to cut it fast. He cut it fast very horribly.
Yeah, so that is is it my mic? My mic's cutting out?
It cut out on my end.
Uh okay. I unplugged it and plugged it back in, so hopefully it's better on your guys' end now. Um so what up, Hunter, by the way? How you doing, brother?
How you doing, man?
So yeah, like I said, one of the best parts about the show absolutely makes no sense. I don't know why it imploded this quickly, but whatever. But yeah, that is very interesting, and I wonder what they are going to do with the MJF contract, because in all honesty, man, I don't know what their plan is for it, whatsoever.
I really
So
don't. I don't see MJF winning the world title with it right now, so I feel like something's gonna happen with Bobby and the Hurt Business.
I could see that for sure. FTR are in the back. They say they have enough stress with the tag title tournament. They apologize for what Big Stoke is going to do to Adam Copeland next week. Stokely says, "I can't believe at your big age you chose to do this. I'm not a pro wrestler. I'm injured. You're a bully. You think I haven't been in a fight before? You're wrong. I'm short. I'm bald. I can't get any hose. I've been fighting my entire life." At this point, Cash is fucking laughing behind Stokely, and Dax killed me during this because he's just serious as ever, and he's standing there next to Stokely, and he's like, "No, dude, no, you can get hose, bro. You can get hose for sure.
Fucking put his hand on his shoulder and fucking just go, "You can get hose, man.
You can
No,
get
no,
hose
you can get hose."
for sure."
Fucking hilarious, dude.
He says he will face Cope because his boss asked him to, and he will put him down for 1, 2, 3. Stokely's talking a big game, man. I'm excited to see what he's gonna pull out next week. But overall, um, this was also one of the best part of the shows. This was a very entertaining promo, and I really hope Stokely stays with FTR. I just have a weird suspicion, being how they like to use Stokely Hathaway, that he's just gonna end up randomly one day being pulled from their act. At least that's what they've done every other fucking time with the guy. So it was a great promo nonetheless, though.
100%. It was a great promo. Loved it. Thought it was hilarious. I really love the combination of FTR and Stokely. I think it's really good. But like you said, I have this feeling that they're gonna break it up once this relationship goes awry.
Yep. Swerve Strickland is standing on the ramp for a promo. He says the last time Don Callis was in the corner of one of his matches, me and Prince Nana put him down, and we retained the AEW World Championship. He says last year at Forbidden Door, I put down my own family, Will Ospreay. And if that's what I did to my family, what do you think I'm going to do to you, Okada? And that was the promo. It was a pretty good promo. And then after the fucking promo, Excalibur says at Forbidden Door, Swerve Strickland will take on the undisputed champion, Kazuchika Okada. The undisputed champion.
Is that what
Excalibur.
they're probably gonna?
That no, that's not what they're gonna call it, because right afterwards they throw up a fucking graphic and it just says AEW Unified Championship.
Fucking. And what was that line earlier from Don Callis talking about he's got 3 belts? No, he has one because
Yeah.
2 got turned into 1, and he just still holds the old 2 that don't technically exist anymore. So no, he does not have 3 belts. He has 1. He has a singular belt because 2 became 1. Please fucking stop. I don't need every person ever with 13 belts. It got old real fucking quick.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So according to Excalibur, the unified champion, or sorry, the undisputed champion, Kazuchika Okada, is going to defend his undisputed title.
Disputed. Good
Nice.
lord.
Nice. Very nice, Excalibur. And in the main event, we had the grudge match between MJF and Mark Briscoe. MJF comes out with the CMLL World title. Apparently, he's the CMLL World Champion.
My god. What the
Okay.
fuck, dude?
Don't know when that. I don't even remember. I didn't even
Doesn't
hear about
fucking
that.
I didn't hear about it. I remember, wasn't it last week they were talking about him going over there to do something or something? He might have. I don't fucking know. I don't know. That is wild.
Man, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you, bro. Mark Briscoe misses a froggy bow through the table on the outside. Crashes right through the table. When he goes to get back inside of the ring, he gets hit with a heat seeker by MJF. He gets his foot on the rope, but the ref doesn't see it. He rings the bell, and it's before the ref can notice it, MJF throws Briscoe's foot off the rope, and he wins the match. Afterwards, he hits Mark Briscoe with the ring. He celebrates, and Adam Page comes out. Him and MJF brawl into the crowd. He gets MJF back into the ring, and he goes to hit him with the buckshot lariat, and MJF retreats before Adam Page can hit the buckshot. Why is the world champion feuding with the contract holder? I what the fuck, man?
Just shit. Just make it for a basic title shot at that point if this is all you're ever gonna do with it. Why did you continue and be like, you know what, last year we didn't really know what we're gonna do with this Money in the Bank S thing, but this year we're gonna do it again. And when you do it again, you don't use it in that connotation. It's just basic generic feud. Why? What? Why?
Uh, I have absolutely no idea. I I
No, none whatsoever.
I have absolutely no idea. What the hell the idea behind any sort of, like you said, Money in the Bank esque idea. I don't know why there was any idea to even do an idea like Money in the Bank when this is what you do
We
with
don't
it.
know exactly. It makes no fucking sense.
So that was Dynamite, and with that, like I said, that was it for AEW Dynamite, man. Pretty boring show, to be honest. Nothing much at all to hang your hat on when it comes to AEW. When it comes to AEW Dynamite, like I said, that was pretty much it, man. It was very one dimensional. It was very boring. And that's all AEW is. That's all AEW is. So that's about it, bro.
Yeah, that usually sums up Dynamite. Is it happened, unfortunately. So, well, and AEW, it goes and goes and goes, and then we get a pay per view. It's a good night, and then we have to wait till the next pay per view to have a good night.
Yeah. Yep. So with that, in case you ever find yourself on a Wednesday night at about 8 o'clock, you're an hour into AEW Dynamite, and you absolutely want to fucking shoot yourself. You're so tired. You need you need some sort of energy source, man. W Energy. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics, formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula that is sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below. Ed code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Really, always got to shout out W, whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for. Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, any type of wrestling weekly television. At this point, you might need something to boost you up, man. W will do that. It'll keep you energized. You won't have the jitters, and it'll taste good all at the same time.
There you go. So, as always, shout out to the good people over at W, the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Here it comes.
SmackDown. SmackDown on August 8th from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Manager Logan is finally here, and he did indeed get
So,
his
Manager
W
Logan,
yesterday. So
dope.
he is
Oh
going.
yeah.
He was crying about it at first. Now he's flexing about it. However, now Manager Logan is going to be awake for AEW Dynamite, man. So go grab yourself some W, because I I uh,
Good lord, man.
you
We
know,
got what, 9 of these things left? 8 after this episode of SmackDown, I think.
mm, 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 mm. Yes, Montreal is always a great crowd. They're one of my favorite crowds in Canada. Montreal and Toronto are probably the main two. But you know, I am so sick of creative being I am so sick of the creative for John Cena as of the last fucking 9 days. It's only been 9 or maybe 10 days at this point. Okay, so it like the this farewell tour I actually have enjoyed. I have enjoyed. A lot of people say it's ruined, it sucks. I don't think so. I've really been trying to cherish this last year with the GOAT. And for the most part I have been enjoying it. I'm sure you guys have heard me say it. I probably sound like a broken record. I have pretty much enjoyed everything other than the stuff with Logan Paul and Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. They have Money in the Bank and like that whole thing, right? Also Travis Scott at Mania. That was pretty bad as well.
That was.
WWE does something very controversial at SummerSlam. They do something very shocking at SummerSlam. They do some they bring back Brock Lesnar. John Cena comes out here for a promo. He's back babyface again. This is the first SmackDown back where he's just fully fledged babyface. And WWE, my fucking God, have they got some fucking balls. Because John comes out here for a promo. He says the fans put up with him for a while, so I want to lead with honesty and vulnerability. He says, I'm afraid, no matter how much I give you in this limited time, that I will never be enough. He says, I'm just gonna end up letting you all down. I'm afraid that when I'm gone and WWE moves on as it should, you guys are gonna forget about me. I'm even afraid of Brock Lesnar. I don't know in what universe I actually choose Brock as an opponent. LOL. But there is no universe where I back down from Brock Lesnar. He says, yes, so I am afraid. I'm afraid Brock Lesnar got himself a John Cena problem. I'm afraid that every WWE superstar got themselves a John Cena problem. Time is winding down, and I'm not going down without a fight. So, Brock, when you want some, notice he says when you want some, come get some. And anyone brave enough to walk down that aisle and face off with the last real champion, just know I'm going down guns blazing. The last time is now, so if you want some, come get some. And who to come out but Logan motherfucking Paul.
Wasting John Cena not only on Brock Lesnar, but you're doing it with Logan Paul. I don't know, man.
Logan comes out.
I don't know.
Logan comes out and he tells John that he is turned into a charity case out here giving matches. So, damn, John, I want one. Cena says, are you sure about that? Logan says, Logan Paul versus John Cena in a beautiful French-speaking country right in the middle of France at Clash in Paris. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul then attack John Cena, and Cody Rhodes comes out for the save. John grabs the mic. He accepts Logan Paul's challenge for a match at Clash in Paris. And then they make a tag match for later in the night.
What? Logan Paul. You're wasting. You're wasting with Logan Paul. That is the most lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. We could have been getting an AJ Styles match. I would have took another fucking CM Punk match. But we were getting Logan Paul. Good lord, man. Good lord.
Logan Paul, I swear to God, if we don't end up getting this fucking AJ Styles match, meanwhile we're getting a Logan Paul match on pay-per-view, dog, how did you manage? How the fuck did you manage? This was pissing me off with Triple H. We go into SummerSlam. He brings Brock Lesnar back, which, again, taking personal feelings out of it, the Brock match, oh, okay. Oh, I get it. It's John Cena. He's one of John Cena's greatest rivals. I guess I get it from that perspective, right? You mean to tell me, coming out of SummerSlam, you do not have a follow-up for Brock? And then we hear this fucking news that they want to do Bad Blood and have the selling point be John Cena and Brock Lesnar. So why didn't you just bring Brock back at the end of Clash in Paris? Or at Clash in Paris? After the match with Logan Paul. What? So, dude, that's the other thing. I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, when are they going to do the Brock match? And then I thought, maybe they're going to do it in Crown Jewel, Perth, because I believe they'll be in a big-ass stadium. That makes sense, right? Like, all right, you want, Brock and Cena, it's going to be a huge match. It'll probably fill a lot of seats in the stadium. I can get that. You need John Cena and Brock Lesnar, and you're using them to counter program All Out? Dude, enough is enough. You need to counter program All Out for what? And normally I would be okay with this, because normally if All Out is on a Saturday, WWE would run on a Sunday or vice versa. But apparently, from what we're hearing, they plan to run the show on the same fucking day. They plan to run a pay-per-view the same exact day. And I'm assuming, unless Tony Khan changes his time slot, I'm assuming the same exact time. Dude,
what do you gain?
What the fuck? Again, the only person that caters to is the fucking fat ass tribalist fan that just wants to boycott the other company because he just is in love with one company. Dude, this does no good to the people that actually enjoy to watch both companies. Okay?
Yeah.
But coming out of SummerSlam, you got all the headlines of Brock Lesnar, the Beast is back. They want to show the clip 2 times on each piece of programming. They want to show it twice on Raw, twice on SmackDown, probably like fucking 7 times on NXT. So, who knows, right? They're probably showing the fucking clip on NXT Evolve or whatever. And you have no follow-up, but you fucking trot Logan Paul out there. With that logic, can I get a fucking match? I would love a match with John Cena. He's my GOAT. I think he's the greatest to ever fucking do it. Can I have a fucking match?
Like, that's all it takes is just you go out there and asking everybody, but the main people that anyone would want get their match, man. CM Punk got one random one-off match, and Logan Paul gets his own match. I don't get it, dude. I don't fucking get it.
Why in the bloody hell would you bring Brock back at SummerSlam if you didn't plan to use him for the next pay-per-view.
Then you're gonna just wait a whole pay-per-view with Brock lurking, at Clash. We're gonna get the same exact thing that we get at SummerSlam. It's gonna be John Cena finishes his match, Brock comes out, stare off, probably an F5. That's it. We're probably gonna get the exact same ending to Clash that we got at SummerSlam. Why do it at SummerSlam? I don't get it.
I don't I do not fucking understand this company sometimes, man. I do not understand this company, dude. Um Again,
And
for that, you might as well have just done nothing at SummerSlam and just waited to bring Brock back until Clash in Paris after the match with Logan Paul. At that point,
yeah, you might as well, man. You might as well. And what is the fucking point to counter All Out, dude? What, what is the point, dude? All Out's not gonna do no damage to you if it's on the same weekend, or we're doing this, or they're just having their pay-per-view. In the same way, who cares if the other side's doing a pay? Why does WWE just have this desperate need to just run the headlines for a weekend, dude? They're not gonna touch you in terms of, like, scale. So just let them be, dude. I
uh,
don't get, like, WWE's obsession with controlling the headlines and shit. Like, dude, who cares? You guys are the biggest company. You're gonna be the biggest company no matter what. Just let the other fucking company be, dude. The AEW pay-per-views are the few nights a year, like you say, we get to enjoy AEW. Now, anytime we get one of those nights, we have to worry about some WWE show coming in and trying to run at the same time, at the exact same time and day this time. That is horrible, dude. That is god awful.
like, dude, running the same weekend is one thing. Like,
I don't like that.
same. I really don't mind that. It's like, it is what it is. But dog, the especially with the Cena and Brock match being on that show, those are two shows that I would actually fucking like to review. And you gotta fuck
Yeah.
that up? Like what
What?
what
For
what good are you doing, bro? Like that would be like the fucking NBA counter programming the WNBA. Like, dude, no, why are you doing that to them? Like, again, and like you just said, bro, in scale, you're never going to touch them. So just fucking let them be. And again, that would mean we have Clash in Paris. 3 weeks after that, we have Bad Blood in Indianapolis. And 2 weeks after that, we have a stadium show at Crown Jewel. What the fuck?
wh- what is the purpose of Bad Blood besides fucking just counter programming randomly for no reason, dude? What is the purpose to do Bad Blood? And then I'm hearing rumors of, we got, last year Bad Blood had a Hell in a Cell. People are saying it's possible that we get Cena and Brock in a cell, and that sounds even more atrocious.
Like, what? Like,
Counter programming. A show you don't need to counter program, dude. You gain nothing except making yourself look embarrassing by trying to counter program a show that's not gonna touch you. They're not gonna touch you, so just let them be, dog. Eh, I don't get it.
Cena and Brock in a cell would pretty much go against anything that Triple H said about the Hell in a Cell. The Hell in a Cell,
Oh
again,
yeah,
the Hell in a Cell should
it
not be
makes no
brought
sense.
back because it's bad blood. It should not be brought back. Again, that's defeating the purpose. You did a Hell in a Cell last year at Bad Blood because it actually made sense. It was the end of a feud. You do not do a Hell in a Cell as the first match. Again, that would completely defeat the purpose of. And again, Cena. eh, I mean, sure, if Cena and Brock were fucking feuding for 6 months and absolutely were ready to kill each other, then it would make sense for them to be in a Hell in a Cell. Why would they be in a Hell in a Cell? Why? What is the point for those guys to be in a Hell in a Cell? I mean, it completely goes against everything that they tried to tout about with the Hell in a Cell last year. You have no follow up for Brock Lesnar and you're using Brock to counter program AEW. Do you need all of that? Do you really need a Brock Lesnar appearance to counter program AEW? I mean, what? I mean, you're acting like you're going up against fucking WrestleMania here. I mean, you need Brock to you
All out of
see.
all pay-per-views, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not even doing this against like All In or Double or Not. You're going against All Out. This has quickly, ever since All In's introduction into AEW, has become a secondary pay-per-view for them. Overall,
Yeah.
it's not bad. The first year that they did All Out and All In the same year All Out was horrible, but they did even it out, and now it's a solid show, and it's a solid show that, like you said, we would like to be able to review. But now you're putting a Cena shit on the same night. W- What do you expect the fans to do? Not everybody, like you said, some tribalistic mark, dude. Some people just want to watch one day, the next day they want to watch the other. Boom, fun wrestling weekend. Now we got to deal with bullshit like this for what reason? What do y'all gain by doing this? Nothing. They don't gain anything.
They gained weekend headlines that I guess they just couldn't go without. They need to be the talk of the town on the weekend of September 20th. For some fucking reason, that weekend specifically, they just need to be the talk of the town. On September the 20th, they just, like, dude, and again, what I just talked about, we would then have a 3-week gap until Bad Blood, and then a 2-week gap until Crown Jewel. Stop overexposing the fucking show, man. Stop. Just save Cena and Brock for Crown Jewel. It's gonna be in a stadium, I believe. At least the first time they went to Perth, they were in a giant stadium. You don't think like save it for that? You don't think that that can use the help of Cena and Brock more than a fucking Bad Blood show in Indiana? Come on, man. And what do they do in Paris? Cena and Brock would have been pretty cool in Paris. Logan
That
fucking
would be
Paul.
fine. We could have done AJ Styles. AJ loves Paris. Everyone loves John Cena. It would have been fucking perfect, dude.
Logan
But no.
Paul. Logan Paul versus John Cena is a match that you do on a random weekend in September 20th to, do counter program or whatever you want to do. That to me is a paper is a sorry is a B level pay-per-view match. That to me is a Saturday night's main event. That to me is a SmackDown match. It's going to be a great match, but again, it's Logan Paul. Who really fucking cares? I mean, all that's for is for Logan Paul to tout on his podcast how he participated in the John Cena farewell tour.
That's all it's gonna be. Is he's gonna say he was a part of it, and he's gonna fake somebody, and he's gonna say, "Oh well, I've been here for 3 years, and I faced John Cena in his retirement run. What have you done?" It's gonna be the same. Logan Paul cuts the same promo every fucking second of his life.
That is what you had in mind for John Cena in Paris. Meanwhile, this guy John Cena just went out during some interview talking about how AJ Styles is one of his wrestling soulmates, along with I got the post here.
Oh,
Let's see. Okay, so John says that he names his all-time favorite wrestling soulmates: Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Edge, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles. Um, I don't know what they're doing in Paris, but that had me going absolutely gorillas because that is some bullshit, man. That was the Clash in Paris match, which appreciate you, Hunter. He says that Crown Jewel is actually in an NBA-sized arena and not a stadium. So now I ask even more: why was Brock not the Clash in Paris match? And you could have did Logan and Cena at Crown Jewel, a B-level pay-per-view. Either that, or still, you could have done Brock and Cena at Crown Jewel. You could have, if you want to do Bad Blood so fucking bad, could have did Logan and Cena there. And then you could have done Cena and AJ Styles at Clash in Paris. Logan Paul. Man, what a waste of a Clash in Paris match. You know, there's not a lot of times on this farewell tour left where you're going to get John Cena in an environment like a Paris crowd. We know how Lyon was last year, and you can bet your ass that Paris is going to be just as good, if not better. You didn't want that atmosphere of AJ Styles versus John Cena one last time. Come on, bro. Come the fuck on. Cena gave you an open challenge, damn near, for anybody to walk down the aisle and face off with him. The last time is now. Trips. Are you fucking stupid, man? I'm starting to ask the question.
Oh, I'm starting because you could even made it work with AJ. AJ, he's over there on Raw getting outsmarted by Dominic, and I like the thing they're doing where he's getting outsmarted. AJ's kind of respects it, but he's gonna keep trying to find a way to not get outsmarted. Maybe he needs to take a little break from that, and he needs to lock in to be able to come back to Dom even more locked in. Maybe that's why he goes to face Cena because he needs to lock in against these younger guys.
Yes, he needs
You got a
to
very
test
easy
himself
fucking explanation. Yeah,
against
exactly. You got the easiest
probably.
explanation.
Yeah, you absolutely do. He needs to test himself against the um arguably let me think about this right. Yeah, probably his greatest rival in WWE is John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
yes,
test himself there.
you fucking skip out on that.
Bro,
Good
Logan Paul's mid-ass.
good lord. That is a B level. That is a B level pay-per-view match. I'm sorry. Paris.
God, insane.
This is an absolute joke. This was an absolute fucking joke. You come out of SummerSlam after you done played this Brock Lesnar clip for us all week. We've been seeing it on across their social media pages, all this and that, all fucking week, and you have no follow-up for the biggest story coming out of SummerSlam.
No follow-up whatsoever, dude.
An absolute fucking joke, man. An absolute joke. I don't know, man. I don't know. This to me was just ridiculous. It really was. It really was. It really pissed me off. And yeah, Logan Paul and John Cena at Clash in Paris. It's already bad enough the GOAT's last WrestleMania was celebrated with Travis Scott after a rather boring WrestleMania main event. And his last time in Paris will be against Logan Paul. So wonderful. Fucking wonderful. Yeah. So there you go. That leads me to the second part. Trips. Why the fuck are Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre still a fucking team? Dude.
I was asking this with fucking Brodito. I'm gonna ask this on SmackDown with these two. Why are they friends? By all logic, Drew McIntyre's character should hate Logan Paul. He should. He should
Yes.
hate Logan Paul. And he's his homeboy for some reason. He is Logan Paul's lackey, essentially.
Yes,
Why?
he's basically Logan. He's basically Logan Paul's heavy. He, dude, Drew McIntyre's character last year talked so much shit about how CM Punk left and he worked his ass off and he left so much back home in Scotland and he has all this remorse and he worked so hard just for people that didn't work as hard as him to get ahead of him. And Logan Paul and him and that guy are some sort of pairing. What the fuck? Why are they still a fucking team, dude? What is the issue here? Come on, man.
I don't get it, dude. I
Well,
don't fucking understand.
the main event match ended with Logan low blowing Cena and Drew McIntyre attacking Cody Rhodes. So it looks like Drew's going to be the next challenger for Cody. So I'm assuming we'll probably have to see like John Cena and Cody Rhodes facing off with Logan and Drew McIntyre for the next 3 weeks until we get to Clash in Paris. But I,
Yeah, doing the Drew match already. Um,
yeah,
gonna be it's
he's
a here damn match.
so much for Drew dethroning Cody for the belt. Nice.
Yep, he ain't. Nope, exactly, man. It was a cool spot. The way he like kicked him from under the table and shattered the wood. It was a cool spot, man. But I just know it's gonna lead to just a Drew McIntyre loss. So I can only care so much.
Tala Tonga and JC Mateo absolutely mopped the floor with the Motor City Machine Guns. And to make it even worse, U.S. champion Solo Sikoa lost clean to Sami Zayn.
Just can't
Trips.
leave that bloodline vortex.
Trips. What?
What the fuck, dude? Just can we get Tomatonga back? Can we please? Bro, what is JC Mateo and Talatonga, dude? What are those two? Like JC, he's funny because he's so fucking stupid. Talatonga is just the most feel nothing person I have ever seen in the Bloodline Vortex. Holy hell, I feel nothing when that dude is on my television.
I, I I don't even know, man. I don't. Again, man, it is crazy that Motor City was once a highly touted signing for WWE. And just a few months later, they're absolutely getting mopped by Tala Tonga and JC Mateo. The same guys that get
What?
their asses whipped every week by
Yep.
Jacob Fatu. Those guys. And then the US champion just fucking loses clean. Nice.
Just loses clean to someone who's technically not even on the SmackDown roster. And again, brand split doesn't really matter right now. But why the fuck was Sami Zayn on SmackDown, dude? What is the purpose of any of this, dude? What is going on, man?
To
What is
get
going on?
to get Sami Zayn in Montreal and to pin the US champ clean, I guess. That's I I I I what
They,
is this
you know,
show?
they got to write that Sami. What is this show, dude? They got to write that Sami Zayn has, distractions on his way to the world title that he's not going to get for another year and a half. But they got to write distractions, and this is the best thing you could have came up with. Is Solo Sikoa again?
Lord. Well, that was everything for SmackDown. And now, this brings us to Monday Night Raw. This is your August 11th edition of Raw from Quebec City. There was not a single "We Want Cross" chant after Twitter hyped this up so hard for being a show hijack. Quebec City, outside from a few people in the crowd that had signs, I guess they did not want Cross. They did not give a fuck about carrying Cross, I guess.
They didn't give a single shit. Not an ounce of noise for carrying Cross, man. So all that Twitter talk just was they really were just Twitter fingers, man. No one did shit.
Yep, nobody did a single thing. Had this show would have been in New York or Chicago, or like a London, perhaps, probably even a Toronto, or even where they were on Friday, Montreal, I guarantee you this would have been a lot different. Not a
Oh yeah,
single "We Want Cross"
guaranteed.
chant.
Not one.
What? Thanks. Thank you, Quebec City. Thank you very much. As for
Thank
carrying
you.
Cross, we indeed do want carrying Cross, and there's been a lot of stuff surrounding him. I don't know what happens with him, but I hope he is going to be brought back. I don't know if WWE is doing this on purpose to get the fans to start a "We Want Cross" campaign, but regardless, it needs to happen, and I hope they stumble across a city that does fucking feel like
The
chanting it, I
fucking
guess,
chant.
because apparently the LFG tapings were hijacked with "We Want Cross" chants. So you come to Monday Night Raw and I guess Quebec City didn't give a single flying fuck about it. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what happens with Karrion Kross. Maybe he is brought back. Maybe he is brought back with some help in the form of Vincent and Dutch of the Righteous, but I don't know, man. It is going to be interesting to see, but huge letdown from Quebec City, man. How do you not chant? How do you not chant for Karrion Kross, bro? I don't get it.
Definitely, man. I don't get it. All that internet talk, I guess you guys just didn't do nothing. Just didn't do a fucking thing. It's interesting. The whole Cross situation is still interesting because I still really wouldn't be shocked if this is the new kayfabe. It's gonna be an episode of WWE Unreal. The next season, I really wouldn't be shocked. But with how much was Cross has been talking about like scrap stuff that didn't happen, that also makes me think like it is true. I don't know, man. I'm gonna just let it play out, see what happens. I like Cross. Um, Hope he gets resigned, man. Some of the stuff he was talking about was really interesting, especially about the righteous. That was very interesting. So I hope that he can be brought back if he not already is.
Definitely, definitely. The show opens up with Michael Cole announcing that Naomi is currently not cleared to compete, and the title match with Io Sky for tonight is off. We have not heard a word on Naomi yet, and it is going to be interesting to see if she ends up being okay, which I think she will be, because if she was seriously injured, they would have stripped her from the championship. Usually, they will let the champion kind of hold on to their title if they have a couple minor injuries going on. So I don't know if she's going to be okay for Clash in Paris. There was a title defense that was supposed to take place on that show, um, with Stephanie Vaquer, but I don't know if that is still the case, or what exactly is going on with uh Naomi. But like I said, if it was serious enough, I feel they would have just straight up just stripped her of the championship, but they did not, and they just canceled the bout for tonight, so against Io. So things look to be okay. Even though she's injured, it doesn't seem to be too serious. Thank God.
Like, it doesn't seem to be too serious. I heard she was even at the show yesterday, and just they did that because I guess she just couldn't compete for whatever reason, man. So hopefully everything's good. I don't think it's too serious. I think they would have done something to strip her of the title that night if it was serious. So I hope everything's good, and I hope everything gets sorted out with all these, title matches and whatnot.
Um. Okay, so we did get an update from PW Insider. Naomi was backstage in Quebec, and her match being pulled was not a case of her not making it to the taping. Whatever the reason was, it was kept quiet.
Probably a personal thing.
Yeah, that is very interesting. That is very interesting, man. So, hopefully everything is good with Naomi. That would be interesting. Logan says he's been told by fans that Big Jim happened. That would be um life-wise, that would be great news. Career-wise, that would be crazy timing, being that this is the first time she's held a championship in like 8 years. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that is good news though. If that is true, that is great for them. It would suck that she would have to relinquish the championship, but obviously you cannot wrestle while you're pregnant. So, yeah, so her match is off. The show opens up with CM Punk. He comes out for a promo. He does his shtick. He says that Seth Rollins is a visionary who cannot see what's in front of his face. He says he's trying his best to be CM Punk. He's failing miserably. He says he feels like he let the fans down. But if you thought I was relentless in pursuit of my goals before, I promise I'm even more possessed to get that championship back. He says he does not, he doesn't hate the game. He says, I've cashed in on a few people in my time. Which, wasn't it Jeff Hardy both times?
I think it was Jeff. Yeah, I think it was Jeff both times.
I think so. Yeah, pretty sure. So he says, but I do hate the player. Seth Rollins had to fake an injury to let everyone's guard down. He says, soon he will not have to pretend because I'm going to break your legs myself. LA Knight then comes out. Him and CM Punk have a face-off. That's pretty cool. He then puts his hand out to shake CM Punk's hand. And Punk shakes his hand. And he asks LA Knight if he has something to say. LA Knight says, at SummerSlam, Punk was robbed. You defeated Gunther and once again became the World Heavyweight Champion. He says, you deserve your rematch. But last week you could not contain yourself and you got me disqualified and I lost my opportunity. He says, I understand it, but it was the wrong place at the wrong time. He says, if you want to beat Seth Rollins' ass, then do it. Just do it after the bell rings. He says, Punk can get his rematch after I get mine. Punk says, I think the word you're looking for is thank you, Mr. Punk. Did you think you were going to become heavyweight champion after he stomped your head into the concrete like a coconut? So you're welcome. For saving your life and your career. He says, I'm a former heavyweight champion, something you can't say. So you can get to the back of the line. LA says, Punk, It took you 12 years to reach the mountaintop again. Some may say it was overdue, but I've never been heavyweight champion, so I'm more overdue. He says there's levels to this, and for as good as you aren't on mine. Um, he says he's going to do Punk 2 favors. 1, he's going to forget last week happened, as long as he doesn't do it again. And 2, he's going to beat Seth Rollins so Punk can be his first successful title defense. Yeah. Punk says, in the spirit of making sure there's no bad blood. There you go.
That's fucking setting up for that show.
Yep. Or problems. I don't want a problem with LA Knight. You and I both have a Seth Rollins problem. So, and then Paul Heyman comes out with the Bronze. Bronson's got a pair of 3s and a pair of 1s around his neck. He's got 4 shoes in total. He's got 2 pairs of shoes around his neck. So the Shulafala grows larger. The crowd is actually chanting Shulafala. They didn't want to chant "We Want Cross." They wanted to chant for the Shulafala all night. So,
Lord. Wrestling fans.
Paul
We'll
Heyman
talk
comes
their
out.
show.
Paul Heyman comes out and he starts messing with the crowd. He starts talking to them in French. He tells LA from the adorable Oracle. What?
Okay. Yeah, dude.
What is
Can
this
can
nickname?
they cut? Literally, dude. Can they cut it with the Oracle stuff? It's not hitting. I'm sorry. The
It's
wise
really
man
not.
was dope. The Oracle is just it's trying too hard. You know what I mean? It's just
It
it
is. I'm
it
feeling the
is.
same way, man. I can't lie to you, bro. I am not fucking with this nickname. It's again, especially the way that you know the way the way they just try to shove it down your throat. They like I felt when Roman Reigns called Paul Heyman the wise man. It felt like
Yeah,
something that just came natural. It felt like something that it just felt
it
more
did.
organic. This sounds like they're trying to give him a nickname and they're trying to find a name that sounds cool. So they went with Oracle, which just
Like
makes me
I
think of
don't get
Oracle
it.
Arena in Oakland for some reason.
I dead ass just think of the fucking Batman family character sitting in a fucking wheelchair typing away, telling Batman what's going on in the city, dude. And, like I get the idea of the Oracle nickname because it does apply to Heyman. It just doesn't come off naturally. Wise Man came off
No,
very naturally to Roman and the rest of the group. Oracle just sounds like a WWE created thing, dude. And it really just is just hammering home, and it doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit.
it really doesn't. The adorable Oracle. All right, I guess. So yeah, it is. It's that nickname is not it, bro. It's not. But
It's
um,
not. I'm sorry.
he warns LA not to get in the business, not to get in the favor business with CM Punk. He says it'll cost you your self-respect, position in WWE, half your career, half your life, and your tribal chief. At this point, Heyman damn near sounds like he's about to cry as Bronson is looking so confused at Paul Heyman. He's looking at him like, dude, are you okay? And CM Punk then interrupts him. He tells him to shut up. He calls him a crybaby, and he asks him if he's going to piss his pants. He says someone is getting punched tonight, whether it's both of your chins or the Bronze. Heyman then proposes CM Punk and LA Knight versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. LA Knight says they were not out here looking for the walking footlocker. That popped me.
That was a great one.
CM Punk interrupts LA Knight and accepts the challenge. LA says, "No, hold on. You do not talk for me." He then turns right around and says, He then turns right around and says, "We accept." I kind of like the can they
I like the dynamic.
coexist between these guys? It's pretty cool.
Exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. Usually that dynamic fucking blows because they try to say that for every human being in pro wrestling ever. But for these two, I like it. It's a clash of egos,
Yeah.
but they're both baby faces, so I think it does work really well. I think those two clash off of each other very well in this first segment they have together, and I like what they're setting up. It's obviously setting up what happened later in the night, and it's obviously setting up a singles match between these two in the future. And I really like it. I like their dynamic. They shoot off of each other very well. And I like
Yes.
what they did here. Every week, at least for I don't love Seth Ryder Heyman. I think he tries too hard. Again, you talk about the Oracle nickname. I think overall his just attitude, just with Heyman, with the Seth Riders, just tries
Hmm.
too hard. I don't really like him with this group. I like him when it was just when Seth was out of the picture again. I think it flowed better with these two. But I think with the inclusion of Seth, he just tries too hard to be like funny and like goofy. And like sometimes it works, but sometimes it's just like, what are you getting on about? I overall don't love what Heyman is doing with this group, man. I really hope, come the end of WrestleMania, because that's how long we're gonna have to wait. This group really does fall apart, man. But overall, I like what they did in the Open. I like the dynamic between Punk, LA Knight. I think it's good.
Yeah.
And I do like how overall throughout the night, the Braun Brawns do got to keep their personality that they were able to show when Seth was gone. I'm glad they're still able to show it with Seth being here. I think they did good with that tonight.
I think so. I think so. And I I've been trying to give it a little bit of time. I never want to be one of those wrestling fans that just immediately writes something off as like, this just sucks, just can it. We see a lot of that today. A lot of wrestling fans again, they just, something's bad for a couple weeks and like they're just like, "Oh, can it? This sucks. Get rid of it." blah blah blah. I never want to be that guy. And that's not to say that it might not eventually grow on me, man. Because a lot of things I did not like at first, and I'm not afraid to admit, I didn't like the new bloodline at first. I did not like Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns at first. There was a lot of things I did not like at first, so that's not to say it won't grow on me, man. But so far, what we have gotten with Seth and Oracle Paul Heyman, again, I think the nickname tries too hard. I think they try too hard to push it down your throat. You know what I mean? It seems like um it's I don't know, it just seemed more organic in the bloodline. But then again, you also can't ask for everything to come off as natural as the bloodline stuff did. But in saying that, I just think like I do agree with you, man. I do think that it is a bit of a case of like it just seems like they're trying too hard to make it work, and it just seems like it just comes off a little unnatural as to where Roman and Paul flowed. But then again, let's not forget Roman and Paul took a minute to flow, because I remember, at least from my point of view at first, those two just seemed a little awkward with each other. It just seemed like Roman still talked. So like I never really, at least in the beginning, I never understood why Heyman was there. But then Heyman slotted into this role where he almost was the mastermind behind Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
and Roman talked, but Heyman called the shots. Here it seems like Seth calls the shots. So like, and it doesn't seem like Heyman has much of a voice. It seems like Heyman is just there so Seth can, I don't know, vent to him and tell him his plans. I mean, I don't, maybe they'll end up finding something where it can slot in really nicely with each other. Um, but up until this point, like you said, I think it flowed better when he was with Braun and Bronson, because Seth at this point in his career does not need the benefit of somebody like Paul Heyman. It just seems like Heyman is there for Braun and Bronson, and Seth just leads the whole thing, which maybe that is going to be end up being Heyman's role, and maybe it is going to end up being nice for him to slot into that. But I'm just saying, man, just keeping it a buck with you guys up until this point. I don't know, just not feeling it.
Same, I think I lost my point, but what you said is true too. Heyman does feel kind of pointless in this group overall, and I think that's the killer. Because every week, especially like post SummerSlam, they're just homing it home that Seth is this big mastermind planner, that he's always one step ahead, and it's Seth who's always one step ahead,
Mhm.
and it's like that's kind of Heyman's job as like the background mind player, but he does really felt well with those two, and if that is the overall goal is to be more of the wise man or oracle to those two, then I think it will work at the end of the day. I just don't love him when Seth's around. I just don't love that dynamic between him and Seth. I don't think it works very well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about it just doesn't click with me, man. It really, really doesn't, bro. But yeah, like I said, it was like, because at least with Roman, eventually over time, like I said, because with Brock, I think at least going into it, if I'm taking you back to what I felt in 2020. Going into it, I felt, Roman Reigns isn't really the greatest on the mic. So you're going to put Paul Heyman with him, and he's going to do the exact same thing he did for Brock Lesnar with Roman Reigns. But then Roman Reigns turns heel. All of a sudden, he's fucking phenomenal on the microphone. And
Michael.
you have Paul Heyman there, and he is, again, you eventually start to find out that Paul Heyman is getting inside of Roman Reigns' head and just making him this egotistical monster. And like Roman Reigns with an ego, the world wasn't ready for, pretty much. Because again, it literally turned this man into a monster, a fucking juggernaut, right? And a final boss. Regardless on what his cousin has to say about himself, but it turned him into a final boss. And again, in my honest opinion, probably the greatest final boss or the greatest final bad guy, the greatest finest final heel in wrestling, man. So like, it just flowed so much better with Paul. With again with Seth, it just I don't. I just haven't been feeling it as of late. Again, not to write it off, but it just, to me, it just seems like he's doing a hell of a lot more for Braun and Bronson than adding to the Seth Rollins act.
Exactly. He's going to be around with this group, and they're going to be together up until probably after WrestleMania is when the group will start to unfold, and that's okay. Just overall, I don't think the current character Seth and the character of Heyman work well together at the same time in the same group. I think it's kind of redundant with those two, man. But overall, I like what he does for the Bronze, and I can't wait to see that evolve. His relationship with those two. I hope over time that's the story they tell, is where
Mhm.
he gains a better relationship with those two than he ever did with Seth Rollins, and I
Yeah.
think if you make that a part of the story, it'll really benefit in the end.
So the thing is with even like going back to the cash in, if you look at
Mhm.
the way Seth Rollins described it last week, he was like, he basically talked like, I created the whole plan. I just told Paul Heyman. Like, unless that's the story they're going for, don't you think it would have been a little beneficial to maybe be like, me and Paul crafted the whole plan just to make Heyman sound a little useful? You know what I mean? I mean, because from the way he talked about it, it was literally like he created the whole entire thing and he just told Paul Heyman. So, like, is Paul Heyman his therapist? Like, what is the role here? Again, other than serving the Bronsons, which, like you said, to their credit, could end up being a great thing that, like, he linked up with Seth to, create something special, but then he ended up just having a better relationship with Braun and Bronson and being a mentor to those guys than he ever did with Rollins. I think that's probably your best bet. So,
Definitely. I think so.
so Braun Breaker, he goes to walk away and he starts storming towards the ring, and you could hear him saying, "You're 47. What are you going to do? And you're 40. I'll kick your ass. You guys are 100 years old combined." I do not think 40 plus 47 is 100 years old, but this is not
No.
taking Steiner math into account.
Exactly. Center math is its own different level of geometry, completely different plane of existence, higher in intelligence above anything else, man. So I think he is right overall, man. I think combine, even though it equals 87, it also equals 100 years old, man. Hilarious.
Yeah,
Love Braun.
makes sense. That makes sense. Does anybody want to take a guess what was second on the show? Does anybody want to take a fucking guess what was the second thing you've seen on Monday Night Raw? Well,
Always the same.
in case you've been living under a fucking rock, it was the Judgment Day. Who would have guessed? The Judgment Day, Finn is asking the girls, what happened to Naomi? Dominic then walks up with El Grande Americano. Finn then asks to talk to Dominic in private. They walk away. As you can see in the background, JD is pretty much asking El Grande where he from. He's like pulling on his mask and he's just punking him out. He Dominic then says he's using El Grande to gain advantage for his AAA match to win the Mega Championship. Finn says, all right, I like that idea. They walk away, and he tells Roxanne and Raquel to look for Adam Pearce to sort out the tag title situation. Outside of JD, pretty much just punking out El Grande Americano, this was the fucking same thing we get every week. So, good lord, can we please get the fucking Prince back? I mean, please. Please and thank
Same
you.
thing every week with the Judgment Day. No progress in any type of story, man. So it's just a segment to check a box on every episode of Raw.
Yeah. So that was that. That was that. Dominic and El Grande Americano versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. This guy could be facing John Cena, I remind you. Instead, we're doing this. Outside of that factor, this match was this match was actually really good. Dragon Lee dove at El Grande Americano before the match started. As during the match, Dominic was getting chased by AJ Styles around the ring. Dude, they took out a fucking cameraman so hard. It was nuts. This man, Dominic, runs towards the timekeeper's area and AJ's chasing him. Dude, Dominic and the cameraman just literally flew right over the timekeeper barricade as Dominic was kind of holding his head. So I don't know if his head like hit the camera. But bro, I know we're probably going to see that on WWE Unreal, and Triple H is probably going to be fucking fuming with the fact that Dominic took out one of their however with $100,000 cameras. I mean, man, that looked brutal, bro. That looked absolutely brutal.
Took out the cameraman. I mean, from that one clip on Unreal, he was pissed when he thought Fatu pushed a fan and it was an extra. and he was about to be fucking fuming. I'm sure he is actually fuming back there, and we'll get it in an episode.
I wonder if they're going to catch the same fate as John Moxley for shoving
Well,
a third-party
I was
cameraman.
gonna say, I think accidentally running into a cameraman versus just walking up and fucking muffing a cameraman
Come on,
is
bro.
very different. Why did he muff him, bro?
Didn't we just see this? And yeah, we did. It was Lyra and Becky. She like threw Becky right into the photographer, bro. Nobody's safe in the ringside area these days. Motherfuckers are getting muffed, ran into, having talent thrown into them. Crazy stuff, bro. Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff.
So let's see. So we got AJ Styles then hit a Styles clash on Dominic Mysterio. Dragon Lee went on the top rope, but El Grande Americano stopped him. El Grande tries to use the metal plate and put it in his mask, but AJ Styles kicked it out of his hand and onto the floor. And onto the floor is where it fell. And Dominic picked it up, used his Mysterio, his OG Mysterio mask, and put it on, and put the metal plate in his Mysterio mask. And AJ then rolled up Grande. Grande kicked AJ out. AJ flew towards the ropes, where Dominic met him with a headbutt with a metal plate for the victory, as El Grande Americano gets rolled up by AJ, or rolls up AJ Styles. AJ Styles losing to
El Grande
El Grande
Americano.
Americano. He could be facing John Cena
Been
in
facing
Paris.
John.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying. Just saying. I overall do like the story they're telling with Dom and AJ, of Dom constantly outsmarting AJ. I do like that. I'm just thinking of John Cena anytime right now watching AJ Styles.
It'd be pretty cool if AJ won the IC title, because John Cena has indeed never won the IC title. Also throwing that out
It's
there.
true, man.
But
Fucking A.
you know. Sami Zayn is in the back asking for a chance for a world title match at Clash in Paris. He says he needs to start acting on what he's saying. Pierce says there's no guarantee, but if Sami can get through tonight, they'll talk. Sheamus comes up and he asks Pierce, "Did you want to see me?" Pierce tells him what happened last week cannot happen again. Sheamus says he's going to get his hands on Rusev. Sami then intervenes and tells Sheamus, "Please do not interfere with this match." Sheamus then agrees. He says, "I will let you have your match, but as soon as that bell rings, he's mine." So that was that. I guess just a little preparation for Sami and Rusev. Io Sky is in the back. She's talking to Adam Pearce. Roxanne and Raquel come up, and they start making fun of Io for not getting her championship match. They're telling her she would have lost anyway. And they ask Adam Pearce for an opportunity at the tag titles, and Io says she came here for a fight, and maybe she can fight her. She points at Roxanne. Adam Pearce says he likes the idea and makes the match official for later. So, we then get Sami and Rusev. Rusev did indeed have an entrance during the ad break.
I love it, dude. Gotta love it.
Just wonderful. That is just wonderful. Paying
Wonderful.
20 something bucks a month for no ads or whatever it is, and you still get ads. It's just great.
Because WWE just doesn't count for that, I guess.
Sami Zayn hits an exploder in the corner on Rusev. On Rusev. He then walks to the other corner to do the haluva kick and is attacked by Solo Sikoa and MFT. Is this actually going to be like a full-fledged feud now?
I guess I thought it was the most one-off SmackDown like thing to ever happen, and then they just fucking attack the guy on Raw. So I guess this is a thing. What a way to fucking distract Sami Zayn, man. Can't write anything else. Just fucking just put him in the bloodline vortex again and have that distract him. Good lord. MFTs.
He is attacked by Solo Sikoa, JC, the nerd, the fire hydrant, Mateo, and Tongaloa and Talo Tonga. Or you
Ugh.
couldn't. Well, uh, okay. I think. All right. Well, that was a first. I'm sitting here talking about how I'm sitting here talking about how trash Sami Zayn feuding with the fucking MFTs are, and all of a sudden, I didn't even know. I thought it was sunny outside because it was a couple hours ago, and
No, never in life.
okay, I think. Oh, brother. Well, I think we are on somewhat. No, we're not.
Fucking course, dude. Ugh. Dorming like, ugh. Dorming like a motherfucker.
What the fuck?
Why?
What is this weather,
On a
bro?
Tuesday at this time.
Uh, okay.
God damn.
I believe we are connected still. So, okay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can. I think it's slowly
Okay.
but surely coming back. Completely just fucked everything up. Um, again, like I said, it was literally there. The sun was out a couple of hours ago, bro. What are we doing?
Dude, this is fucked, man. All I'm hearing is fucking thunder.
This is all. That's all I'm hearing too.
All I gotta hear is thunder.
Why is it storming? Why is it thunderstorming at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday?
It was the-
Well, I believe. Okay. Guys, eh, things can things can really just never go fucking smoothly over here. Why is it thunderstorming on a fucking Tuesday at 2 o'clock in Chicago?
I
Why?
don't understand.
It just sounds like pure chaos outside, and we're trying to fucking conduct business here. That's just wonderful.
Never fails.
So yeah, Solo Sikoa feuding with Sami Zayn. Solo Sikoa and the MFTs feuding with Sami Zayn. That's just great. That,
Good lord.
like you just said, this man Sammy can never leave the bloodline vortex. So, after this, we get the MFTs being escorted out of the arena by security as Tongaloa and JC Mateo are yelling at security. JC Mateo is yelling, call the cops then. And Tongaloa backs up into a fucking pole because he's walking backwards, and he like backed up into one of those like safety poles that are like, usually set up outside of like stores and shit. He just backed up right into one. So never fails. So they escort the MFTs out of the arena, and Grayson Waller and the New Day walk up to Adam Pearce, and they want him to do something about what Penta did last week. Pearce says, no, but as a matter of fact, you could do something about it next week. And he sets up a match with, was it Xavier and Penta?
Yes, I think I think he pointed at Woods because it was his hat.
Yeah.
So I think it's Woods and Penna. Good lord. What an exciting
Man,
match.
I can't wait for that. Xavier Woods versus Penta.
And no, Logan, I have no idea if we're talking about Raw or SmackDown with the MFTs
They're
or with
showing
anything really.
they're showing up everywhere, I guess. After this, we get a Bronson Reed video package. He says he became a star because he attacked Seth Rollins. He earned his respect, and Seth, for that, brought him into the vision. He says, but Roman, I don't want his respect. I punked him out like a fifth grader in front of his schoolyard friends. Not once, but twice. It hasn't happened a third time because Roman cannot man up to him. But when he does, he's going to add to his collection, and he's going to keep adding to that collection until Roman acknowledges his tribal thief. I love it. I love that they're giving him a little bit of presentation behind the whole tribal thief Shula Fala thing. I'm glad they're giving him promo time and stuff like that. I love what they've been doing with Bronson. I think it sets him apart from what they've been doing with Braun Breaker. It makes them two alike but different at the same time, and I think that's what they need.
It does. It does. I'm very glad that they're going the way they are with these two. Like you said, I think they're doing a good job of making them feel like they're on the same page, but they are like different people, but they are similar enough people. I like it. I think they're doing really good with all of that.
100%. Yeah, and like I said, it gives Bronson a different dynamic of being like again like a schoolyard bully, just a complete asshole. Braun Breaker's more of that guy that's like the aggressive one. He's touted as the future Mania main eventer, and Bronson doesn't really get that kind of love. But what he is getting is like I said, this just elementary school bully, high school bully type vibe to him where he's just a complete prick. Always trying to like embarrass somebody or punk somebody out. I love it. So I like it. I'm glad they gave him a video package because I don't want it to seem like Braun Good heavens. Yes.
Good
The
lord.
thunderstorm that just decided to spring itself upon us is it just keeps making the power blink. So every time my screen just goes black for a minute and it comes back on, and then everything basically fucking resets. So I have to sit here and wait for everything to boot up again. I apologize. Well, uh oh. Well, yes, I love the Bronson Reed video package.
Fails.
That was
Never fails.
so that was that. Jesus Christ.
Uh,
I hope I got that. I fucking hope I got that
dude.
so bad. Um
Flo is so destroyed. God damn.
I really hope I got that. I need to clip that. Uh,
Oh, he got it.
so um okay, well, Roxanne defeated Io Sky. The Kabuki Warriors did not help her at all. In fact, they actually ended up costing her the match. Um, Roxanne pushed them into the Kabuki Warriors after Io told them before not to come out, and she rolled up Io for the victory. So this would come into play a little bit later in the night.
It would. It would very nicely.
Yeah. So, um, next we ended up getting Jay Uso in the back. He was talking to Jackie Redmond. He says it hurt him last week that he was not on Monday Night Raw. He had to handle some family business. He says the receipts are on notice. Bronson's and especially Seth, because I never got my rematch. LA Knight LA Knight walks up and he tells him the line starts behind him. Jay says he's gonna send Guys, I am. I don't even know what to say.
I don't know. Never fails.
I honestly don't even know what to fucking say, dude. We're gonna talk about the Bailey stuff, and then we're gonna talk about the end of the show because this is just fucking ridiculous. While we're all here together now, Bailey does a backstage interview where she says she does not know how to start this. She says she's been doing this for almost 13 years and she's never felt the way she felt right now. Now I want more but feel less. I feel nothing. I think it's my fault. The role model meant something. Before I even called myself that, I thought I could be an asset to the division as someone to look up to. Whether it's in the locker room or on the other side of the barricade. Everything leading up to where I am now has gotten me nowhere. I'm here by myself. I sit without a championship, without wins this last year. I can't remember the last time I felt proud of myself. It's my fault. My fault. She kind of goes to say something else, and she starts hearing like a ringing in her ears. And then there's this evil laugh that starts to play. What did you make out of all this, and did you like this little sit-down interview with Bailey?
Overall, love the sit down interview. I love the confused and just unsure where to go from here character of Bailey. I love this. I'm very curious with the little evil laugh part. I hope they don't do some weird off the wall shit. But overall, I like this and I'm very interested to see where this leads Bailey.
100%. 100%, man. So, me too. I thought the same thing. I'm very interested to see where they're going with her, but I will say, man, I got to give props to WWE. Ever since the whole Mania debacle, they've really done a great job at putting a nice little story emphasis on whatever Bailey's doing and having what she does actually have a purpose to it. I really like it. I really fuck with it, and I give them nothing but praise, man. I think they've done a great job since the whole Mania debacle with her missing Mania and everybody being upset about it. I think they did a great job with that. So, and I'm interested to see where it goes. So afterwards, Lyra, Jackie catches up with Lyra for her immediate thoughts, and she says, um, she says she hopes that Bailey is okay. She says she wouldn't have known because Bailey shoved her away. She second guesses if what she said last week is to blame, but she stands on what she says last week. She says the reason she cannot challenge for the championship is because of Bailey. She doesn't know what's going on with her, but it's not her fault, so she is on her own. I love this. I also love this as well. Just the dynamic of Lyra, and I think the long game here is a story with Lyra and Bailey, man. So I think that's kind of the direction they're headed in it. I think Lyra's going to start to feel bad for her, and I'm interested to see where this goes, man. And I've really been loving this.
I really love it. I love the dynamic that Lyra has with this, where she feels bad, but she also is trying not to feel bad, and I think it's gonna backfire on her, dude. And I love what I love where they're taking this, and I'm been very interested to see where this goes, man.
For sure. And then the main event of the show, nothing else is really worth talking about, I guess. At least most of it actually played into the main event. But CM
Hmm.
Punk and LA Knight versus the Braun Brawns. Punk, or yes, Punk was starting to get distracted by Bronson Reed. LA Knight came in with a jumping kick through the bottom rope. Punk would then hit his elbow drop and go for the GTS on Braun Breaker, but Rollins attacked. So Rollins, which earlier in the night, obviously we didn't talk about it, but earlier in the night he told the guys he was leaving. He did not leave. The private jet never took off for him and his adorable Oracle. And he attacked CM Punk. And they started attacking both of them. Jey Uso would then come out for the save with the chair. He would go to hit Bronson with the chair, who just smacked the chair right out of his hand. And then Jay starts getting some offense in on Braun Breaker. He grabs the chair again, and the Vision retreat. But Adam Pearce would come out, and he would say that he sees this as an opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash in Paris. He says at Clash in Paris, Seth Rollins will defend against Jey Uso. He will also defend against LA Knight, and he will also defend against CM Punk. LA Knight and CM Punk then start to argue. These two start brawling. Jey Uso tries to break it up, but then they all get jumped by the Vision, the Seth Riders. These guys would then absolutely maul these three. We would get a run around the ring spear to LA Knight. We would get finishers on all. Or not well, yes, we would get finishers on all three guys, but we would get stomps to all three guys. As Seth tells CM Punk, "Look in my eyes, what do you see? As long as I'm alive, you will never be the World Heavyweight Champion." These guys are absolutely punking out CM Punk. They're like pulling at his mouth. They're like fucking with his hair. They're just absolutely punking him out as they, no pun intended, and then they hit CM Punk with a stomp. The way they were doing CM Punk, man, and the way CM Punk was selling it, this is I actually really liked how the Seth Riders or the Vision came off here. They came off as if to me, man, they came off as if they are legitimately making CM Punk's life a living hell. And I actually really like how they did this, man. I don't know if we could go another 8 months with seeing them make CM Punk's life a living hell before they make our lives a living hell. But I think at least for this episode, man, I thought they nailed it home. Like I said, with just giving off the vibe that, you know, they are making CM Punk's life a living hell, and I actually enjoyed the ending to this night with them leaving all the guys laying. As for the Fatal 4-Way, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to get all of the guys on the show, and I think it does make a little bit of sense, at least for LA Knight and CM Punk. I don't know where Jey Uso came from. I mean, I guess he just did beat Braun and Bronson in a tag team match. He says he also said earlier in the night that he never got his rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, I mean, I guess it makes a little bit of sense. I guess it makes a little bit of sense there, but I was messing with it, man. I think it'll be a great match, and I think it's a great way to get all four guys involved.
Definitely, most definitely. I actually don't hate Jay's inclusion. Doesn't, it kind of makes sense and it's kind of random, but it is what it is. I don't hate his inclusion. I think the ending to Raw last night was a better version of the ending to Raw we got last week. I think the Seth Riders are slowly looking better and better and more cohesive overall, and I like how they ended the show overall.
Yeah. So, that was that. That was that, man. And with that, good Lord, I am very sorry for just, again, things that are honestly out of my control. I will take full
Yeah.
accountability when they are in my control. But honestly, man, in this case, I didn't even know we were supposed to get a fucking thunderstorm today. So thanks, Mother
No.
Nature. Thanks for the constant bipolar Chicago weather. And with that, thank you guys so very much for joining us. Everybody in the live chat, my guys are part of the Replay Mafia. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. It has been a pleasure for my Johnny.
Okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP Unscripted. This has been episode 260. Thank you guys so very much for toughing it out through the weather for us, man. Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, man. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all on Friday at 3 p.m. Central with the news.